Hey there Xbox fans, Darth Karnivorus here and welcome back to another epic Xbox video. And today guys I'm going to show off my Xbox 360 Slim modded, modded Xbox 360 Slim I meant to add there. Yeah guys, this is modded. I think it's RGH. I'm not really familiar with the whole modding thing yet. I've had this for about 3 weeks and I absolutely love it. Now when I bought this one I paid £90 for this. It came with the power supply, the HDMI, the controller and obviously the console itself. So it came with a 500 gig hard drive, which is, it's quite a lot. I do have a 1 terabyte in my PS3, but the thing is, all PS3 games are a lot bigger than Xbox 360 games. So a lot of Xbox 360 games came on multiple discs. Not a lot. There's a good few, which I'll mention in this video. There's obviously some things are different with multi discs on Xbox 360. Some are obviously for the game, some are from install DLC or whatever. So anyway, as you can see there, right before you, this is obviously my Xbox 360. This is the layout I've done. I've actually customised this wallpaper as well to kind of try and resemble the original Xbox as best I can. The one thing I do absolutely love though is the Blades dashboard. So if you guys are familiar with the Xbox 360 when it first came out, you'll be familiar with the Blades dashboard, which is one of the coolest dashboards I've ever seen. And the thing is, look, they do try and replicate it in obviously future updates and future consoles, but they just can't nail, the proper one. Anyway, if you think it this way, obviously it's 2022, and if you look back at the Blades dashboard, it does look like it's in something from the mid 2000s, which that's obviously when it's from. It's from 2005. It feels like it looks like it, but it just looks so damn cool. Anyway, so I tried to get it look at the best I could. No one's actually made a skin based on the Blades dashboard yet. People have said online that they're going to do it, they just haven't done it yet. It's probably harder than it looks. So when I got this thing, like I say, guys, preloaded with at least 150 games on it. That's a mixture of Xbox Live Arcade games and obviously Xbox 360 games. And 90% of them I did not want, so I had to spend a lot of time getting this one put together for this video. So this one does have a 500 gig hard drive, like I've mentioned, and I've mentioned that. This is the third time I've mentioned that, but the reason why I mention that is because I also have two 500 gig thumb drives as well. So if I go to File Manager, as you can see right there, HDD1 is obviously a hard drive. As you can see, this stupid thing is, oh, it's supposed to be 500 gig. What the hell's the rest of the 40 gig? It doesn't make sense. These ones down here are my thumb drives, which are 512 gigabytes. So as you can see, they're only 460 as well, which is so stupid because I don't get why they don't just say it's 460 gig rather than 512. Because it's obviously missing like what 52 gig. What the hell's the 52 gig? It's so stupid. Anyway, so these are obviously preloaded with games and DLC and Xbox Live Arcade games. And I do love this thing, guys. Honestly, I've been playing this thing. Obviously, I've been playing the games on it. I've been downloading more games. I've been ripping games from my own private collection, well, personal collection, and it's just I've been having a blast playing this thing. As you can see there, you get the beautiful artwork as well. You get different cover flows as well to choose from, and different. You can also pick different wallpapers if you like. If you have a favourite game specifically, say for instance, 007 Legends is one of your favourite games. If you press the Y button, you do get the hypnosis for the game. If you press like up and down, you can go down. So it's sort of like a little cross media bar. This bit here at the left side. You can check out the DLC that you've installed right there. You can do title updates if there's any updates available. You can update them, you can install them, you can enable them, you can disable them. It is such a cool thing. You can see your achievements, what you've got left to unlock or whatever. You can do previews, which a lot of games do have trailers and screenshots, but this game doesn't for some reason. You can also, if you don't like this cover, you can easily download a custom cover that someone else has made and uploaded, which is fucking epic. Honestly, guys, when I found this feature out, I found it only out about maybe a week ago, and I thought, that's the coolest thing ever. You can also rename the game as well. You can hide the game. You can delete the game as well. And it's as easy as that. But if you wanted to say, for instance, you wanted to have Daniel Craig's James Bond as your background, just press the back button. As you can see there, it does say as background. You can set it as your background. Easy as that, which I'm not going to do. So I do have 272 games on here, and a lot of them are multi-discs as well. Well, not a lot of them, there's a few that are multi-discs. I do have another 8 games downloading in the process, but they probably won't be done for another couple of hours, and they're so easy to throw on here, guys. If you have one of these consoles, you do have it modded. You can, if you have it like a personal collection of 360 games, you can easily rip them. You just have to go to File Manager, and when you put the disc in, it will come up underneath Aurora there. It'll come up DVD. Just select all the files, select where you want to put them, which is usually in HDD1 in the games folder, and just copy it there, and that's it. It takes literally about 10 minutes to copy a game over. It is fantastic, it's so fast. So I've also mentioned the Blades dashboard. This is the closest thing I could get to it. You know, I've just done a nice wallpaper. I've got like the Xbox, obviously the original Xbox sort of layout for the disk drive, the IR sensor, the memory units, the sync button, and the power button. It's the best that I could do, really. You know, obviously I can't really do more. I do have skins on here, but a lot of them I don't like, so I just keep to this kind of standard skin. You know, I like that one. But you do get cover flow stuff here, which is things like this. So if you do like bookshelf, you know, you can just kind of look at your games like that, and you know, use the right stick actually if you want to look at the back cover or whatever else you've got to look left, look right. You know, it's a really cool little feature. So like for this one, for instance, you probably didn't know that these were all 3D. So there we go. You can look at Alan Wake. You can zoom out. You can look right. You can look left. It is such a cool thing, and I've got quite a few other ones. A lot of them are kind of shit, you know. Like ones like these. These are good. They are really good. So you know, kudos to Kiwi, Miawi, or however you pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I butchered that there, but I don't like the ones that you know like spin like that. It's too distracting. You know, I don't really like that. But it's good layouts as well. One of the ones I do like is table, which this is like all your games all laid out. You know, so it just looks like your games are all laid out on a table. That's the whole concept of this one, and you can just obviously do that one. But I just mostly stick to this one right here. So you can use the L trigger and R trigger to kind of scan through all your games, or if you want, say if you want to play a specific game like I don't know, Mortal Kombat for instance, you can just press the X button, it will come up, and then you just select it, and there you go. It just takes you right to the game. It doesn't launch the game, it just takes you to the game, which I love. You can go in here and just launch the game, you know, to your heart's content. I did not mean to do that. There we go. So one other good feature about this one is, as you can see, if you press the guide button, so the big X button on your controller, you can go to File Browser, and if you want, obviously you can see that Mortal Kombat there is running in the background. If you wanted to, for instance, just go to File Browser, you go to HDD1, or you can go to your USB, go into games, and then you go, you know what, I'm going to fire up Asura's Wrath. Just go to the default XEX, and then just hit OK, and look how fast that this one loads in. Because there's no disk drive that reading from. There you go, that's a game loaded already. So that is one of the really cool things. It saves you going back to the dashboard and having to load in the game from there. I do love Asura's Wrath. It's one of the best games I've ever played. I just wish there would bring a sequel to it, you know. But you probably see me, guys. Hey, here I am, here, right here. But it is one of the coolest things ever. Plus, I like this splash screen because it does say Xbox 360. As it is in the style of the Xbox One X. But I do love it. I really do. So it takes a few seconds to load that in. Obviously, when I had like 20 games on here, it would load in pretty much instantly. But I've got 272 now. I've got another 8 to put on, and that's me done. So I have 280 games in total, which is crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got a modded original Xbox, which has like 90% or 85% of the Xbox library. Plus, it has a whole bunch of emulators and homebrew games and ports as well. So it's crazy. I don't really want this one to be chock full of emulators and ports. I have no interest in that really, because I can play emulators on anything really. I've got like PS Vita, I've got DS, 3DS, I've got PS2 with emulators on it, I've got PS3 with emulators on it, I've got my original Xbox, I've got Wii U, you know, so I'm kind of up to my eyeballs with emulators. Anyway, so yeah, so if you want to scan through your games, just have a look, see what game you want to play. You just go into like preview, look at some screenshots. This obviously downloads from the official Microsoft servers, so you get all the the good details like the Sypnosis. What else you get? You get title updates, like I said, guys. So if you wanted, I've installed this one, so I can disable that if I like. So I don't have to have this update, you know. So whatever fixes it does, I can just disable it. So it's so easy. You can obviously go into this and just press the L and R triggers, just to scan through and see what you want to, if you want to play something, I know a lot of games do have DLC. A lot of games I have installed DLC, but a lot of games don't have it. A lot of games that do have DLC, I don't have, and I'll explain that in a moment. So, say for instance, Army of Two. If I go to DLC, it says no content found. Okay, but if I go to Army of Two, the 40th day, do the same thing. Chapters of the Seats there. So that's a story one. Whereas in the first game here has what do you call it? It's multiplayer DLC, so I have no interest in playing multiplayer. Plus, I highly doubt anybody's playing this game online. Plus, there's a lot of things to block Xbox Live to stop you getting banned as well on this thing. So, I mean, the only thing I've got this connected to the internet. I've not got any. I've only got a profile. That's it. I've not got a gold account attached to this one, so I've no really interest in that. I do have another Xbox if I wanted to play that. I've got an Xbox Series S sitting there, which is actually, if you look, it's just right there where my finger is. It's covered with a dish towel to stop the dust to get on it. But if I want to play anything that way, I can just do that because I do have an account on there. But yeah, this thing it's great. It honestly is great. It's took me a while to get this thing all compiled. As you can see, I've got the two Army of Twos. I've got Alien vs Predator, the Alan Wake games. I've got all the Assassin's Creed games, which all these games that have the DLC have all the DLC. And so for the multi-disc ones, as you can see there, if you look down at the bottom right, you can see like two dots. So one's highlighted in grey, one's highlighted, it's a bit bigger, and it's in white. So that's obviously disc one. And you're probably wondering, where's disc two? Now, the thing is, there's two ways of getting rid of disc two. It's not getting rid of it, it's just kind of hiding it. So if you press the B button, you go to show hidden titles, and there we go. So as you can see, I'm up to 292 games now. So there it is right there, that's disc 2. And if I wanted, I could just go to show, and then that would be in my library. You're probably wondering why is it like missing. As you see, obviously the typo, it does have a R for obviously the copyright. This one doesn't, so the thing is though guys, you can just easily go in and you can easily just edit that. And there you go, so it'll be back in obviously proper order. But one thing I do is I do hide this one because it is disc 2, you don't really need it, and plus there's an application on here called Dashlaunch where you can enable the fact that if you're, instead of having to switch discs, if you guys are familiar, there's probably a lot of you younger viewers out there that are not really familiar with multi-discs, where you're getting to a certain point in the game, it will kind of load in, it will say please insert disc 2 or disc 3 or disc 4 or whatever, however many discs are there. Obviously you eject the disc, you put the disc in, and it'll start reading it and continue from obviously where you left off. Whereas in this one, because they're digital games, they're backups, obviously it's looking for disc 2. So you think you'd have to like maybe go back to the dashboard and then load up this game. It doesn't work like that. If you get into Dashlaunch, I can't remember what the setting's called, but actually, you know what, I'll show it. Let's see, Dashlaunch. So it'll make it a lot easier. Instead of me trying to explain it from memory, I'll just show you exactly what it is. So if you get into behavior, okay, and that's it there, auto swap it's called. So if this is enabled, then it will just automatically do this swap. So it's so much easier, it really is. I've not really played any games yet that obviously I've got so far as to swap discs, but I will obviously get there eventually, and it should work like a charm, it should automatically swap discs or recognise that there's another disc that's installed. So That's obviously really, really good. Give this guy a few seconds to load in. So yeah, it's a fantastic thing, guys. It really is. Something I do love. I do have a lot of modded consoles, a lot of modded handhelds, a lot of modded home consoles as well. And you know what, guys? You don't realise how much money you save with things like this. You know, I mean, look at all these games. Can you imagine if I was to buy all these games, like 272 games, if I was to buy them all, like second hand or whatever, it'd probably cost me a couple of £100 in total. Whereas I paid £90 for this, and obviously I do have a personal collection with a lot of games like the Assassin's Creed games, the Arma 2 games, games like that I've installed personally. Um, but let's just go through my library anyway, okay? So, yep, I do have all the Assassin's Creed games. I've even got Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, which the PS Vita version is horrible, but this one is a lot better. Asura's Wrath, so if I go down there and go to DLC, there you go, I've got all the DLC for this as well. Some Xbox Live Arcade games, which is Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie. I've got all the Batman games, Battlefield 2, Modern Combat. I love this game, I really do. This is one where you do hot swapping on in game, where for instance you see like one of your other NPCs that are there, and you just kind of it goes into this kind of, you know, it's a really cool looking effect where you can tune and fly towards them, so to speak. You know, kind of like if you think of it, it's kind of like the Evil Dead, the thing that goes through the forest. It goes, you know, it's a lot faster than that, obviously. Binary Domain, Black Site, Area 51, Bloodforge, Blue Dragon, as you can see down at the bottom left there. Sorry, the bottom right. There's 3 discs there. Also, if you press the B button and go to filters, and there's a pros and cons for this thing. So if you go to hide multi-disc, it will hide all the discs if you haven't hidden them already. But the thing is though, guys, I've never I can't find an option how to save it. So if you turn off the console, if you reset it and you come back on, all those discs will show back up again, which sucks. So I just keep them hidden. Blur, which is, this game is fantastic, guys. If you like Mario Kart and you like games like Burnout, you'll love this because it's basically like a smash between those two. A realistic-ish type arcade game with power-ups like Mario Kart, you know, boosts and mines and things like that. It's so cool. Bullet Witch, my favourite racing game of all time, which is Burnout Revenge. I absolutely love this game, and I do have all DLC with this one as well. So yeah, it's even got the Xbox 360 car. Excellent. Burnout Crash as well. This is actually an absolutely fun game. I've got all the Call of Duty games. Apart from, there's only 2 games I've not really got any interest in them. Advanced Warfare and Call of Duty Ghosts. 2 ones I didn't really like that much, but I've got Call of Duty Classics, which is technically Call of Duty. Call of Duty 2, 3, Black Ops, Black Ops 2, and obviously the Modern Warfare games and World at War. These are all ripped from my personal collection, apart from this, obviously this is downloaded. I've got all the Call of Juarez games, I've got all the Castlevania games with all DLC, Chrome Hounds, Clive Barker's sorry guys, Clive Barker's Jericho. Yeah, I don't know why. I thought that. Condemned and Condemned 2, which I absolutely love. Condemned, I really do. I've been playing this game for years and I've finished it so many times. I just love going back to it. You know, it's good to play near sort of Halloweenish time. I did plan on playing it this year at Halloween time, but obviously I was busy with work, busy getting this thing all sorted. So, Conflict Denied Ops, Crackdown 1 and 2, which these games are so underrated. They really are. They're just amazing games. Dante's Inferno, this is another underrated game, so I do have all the DLC for this one as well. So yeah, there's quite a lot of DLC for that. Dark one, I played this one a few days ago, and this is a sort of budget vampire type game. The thing is though, guys, the screen tearing is absolutely horrendous in this game. Obviously I'm playing on a 2018 LG TV, so obviously it's more advanced than it was when this game was released. So I don't remember, I had this game when it was released, and I don't really remember it being so bad with screen tearing. It's possible the TV's too advanced for it. If I was to play this on a TV from back then, it'd probably be fine. It probably would be screen tearing there, but it wouldn't be as noticeable. So, Dark Messiah, Might and Magic Elements, which is a great game. Dark Sector as well, Daytona USA, Dead or Alive 4. I fucking love this game. My favourite Dead or Alive game of all time is Dead or Alive 3 on the original Xbox. I do have that on my Series S. It looks glorious, it really does. But this game is fantastic as well. But also Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate, so this has all the extra characters, all the costumes, all the DLC, everything. Then we have the Dead Space trilogy as well, which has all the the bells and whistles as well. Dead to Rights Retribution. This is another underrated game. The first and second one weren't that great to me anyway, but this one is just fantastic. Then we've got Deadpool, Deus Ex, Human Revolution, all the Devil May Cry games, Diablo, Divinity. I've even got DMC. All the Doom games. Yes, you can play Doom 1 and 2 on this, but if I want to play one or the other, I just have to launch these ones. Makes things a lot easier. Double Dragon. I have all the Dragon Ball Z games that I could want. The only one I don't have is Dragon Ball Z Connect, or Dragon Ball Connect, whatever it's called, because I have no interest in Connect games. So there's 5 games here. So I've downloaded the American version because here in the UK, when Budokai first got released, it was in Japanese, which is fine for a lot of people, but I wanted to hear like Chris Sabat and Sean Schemmel and whoever else voices, obviously the characters, and I got the Japanese version, the Japanese voices, which it did suck, because I prefer watching Dragon Ball in English. Anyway, so this is the American one. It does have the American, dialogue and whatever else for the first game, and it's really good. Worst Limit, Rage and Blast 2, Duke Nukem Manhattan Project, Duke Nukem 3D, Duke Nukem Forever, Dungeon Siege 3, Dungeons and Dragons, Chronicles of Mystara, Earthrealm Jim HD, El Shaddai, Enchanted Arms, Eternal Sonata. I've got all the Fear games, including the expansion for the first Fear, which is Files. All the Fable games as well, Far Cry, Instincts, Predator, fantastic game. All the Fight Night games, Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2, Final Fight Double Impact, the Fist and Rockstar games. These games are great as well on Xbox 360. Fracture, this is one of the most underrated sort of shooters. It's not the best shooter in the world, but the fact that you can alter the terrain, it's just a whole different experience. Especially like you're about to get shot to death, and then you can just kind of raise the terrain, give yourself some cover. It's so cool. Full Auto as well. This is one of the best racing games I've played as well, because it's like it's basically like Burnout with guns. That's the only way you can explain it. Plus, there's a little bit of Forza Motorsport or Prince of Persia in there, whereas you can rewind time as well. Fuse as well. It's another underrated third-person shooter. Garou, Mark of the Wolves. I have the Gears of War games here as well. Ghostbusters, a video game. Here's one here, GoldenEye 007. So this one is the unreleased Xbox Live Arcade game. So the game does play amazing. It really does. There's a lot of visual things that are wrong with it. Like for instance, if you press the pause button, when obviously if you look, he raises his wrist and you see he's obviously watching, get to the settings, whatever else. But on the remaster version, it's kind of like his suit jacket or whatever, his sleeve is kind of clipping through his what do you call it, his shirt, so it's just minor things like that. But this game, wow, this game is good. Honestly, I've played through a good few levels of this one. It's just so much fun, and plus it's just like Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition, where you can just press the RB button and you just change to the N64 graphics on the fly. It's so cool. Then I have the, not the remake, but the redone version of GoldenEye 007, which this one is actually really good. I love this one on the Wii, so I thought I'll get this one for 360 as well. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Guacamelee, Guilty Gear 2, Gun. Speaking of Halo, there we are, I've got the Halo games as well. All DLC, Hexate 1 and 2, the Hitman trilogy, which obviously consists of this one. And Hitman Absolution, I Am Alive, Inferno, Infinite Undiscovery, and Justice Gods Among Us. This is the Game of the Year edition, so our Ultimate edition, so it has all the characters. Inversion, this is kind of like Gears of War, but you can like turn the world like upside down and things like that. It's so cool. Jet Set Radio, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Jurassic Park the game, Cameo, Kingdoms of Amalur, Knight's Contract, Kingdom Under Fire, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13, Lost Odyssey, which I'm actually playing right now, so good. Lost Planet 1, 2 and 3, Mafia 2, Magna Carta, Magin and the Forsaken Kingdom, Manafin, Durando, Mark of the Ninja, Marvel v Capcom Origins, Marvel v Capcom 2, Max Payne 3, Mercenary 2, World in Flames, Metal Gear Rising, Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, Metal Slug 3, Metal Slug Double X, Morphex, Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection, Mortal Kombat v DC Universe, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, 3, Need for Speed Most Wanted, the 2005 version. I have no interest in the 2012 version, I like this one a lot better. Nier, 99 Nights 1, 99 Nights 2, Ninja Blade, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, Of Orcs and Men, Overlord, Overlord 2, Perfect Dark Zero, King Kong, which is, this game is so good guys, if you've never played this game before, it's probably the best movie tie-in game. Portal 1, Portal 2, Prey, Prison Break. I've never played this game before, so I thought I would just download it and see how it is. Quake 2, so I installed Quake 4 and I do have the Quake 2 disc with it, so I just done that, and obviously Quake 3 Arena. So I've got Quake 2, 3 and 4, which is really cool. Rambo, the video game, Rayman Legends, don't judge me, I've never played it before, so I want to try it. Red Faction Armageddon, Red Faction Guerrilla, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, which the first game I actually downloaded. They had no audio, so the dialogue would just say maybe one word and cut off, there was no music or nothing, and if you've played this game before, the part where you meet up with Hunk, or Mr. Death, as Beltway likes to call him, the part where you're in the elevator and he's giving you obviously the kind of mission details, and you're stuck in the elevator, there's no dialogue, no nothing, so I had to re-download this one. It was a bit of a pain trying to get it on. It was taking too long to copy it over from to USB. It was taking a couple of hours, which it never takes that long, so I had to FTP it, so it done that in about an hour, and it runs absolutely fine. But you know what guys, I actually want to change the cover on this one, so you can see that, you can experience this one for yourself. Let's have a look. So you can't preview in the covers, as you can see they're tiny, so I'll just go with this one. So it's the same cover, it just has the M for mature, so I prefer that. Sacred 2, Fallen Angel, Sacred 3, the Saw games. These games are good, these games are really good. Me and my wife are going to start watching the Saw movies again. Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection, the Serious Sam games, Shadow Assault / Tenchu. This game's not too bad. I never actually played it back in the day. I think I played the trial version, but I never played the actual game. I thought, you know what, I'm going to just get this one. Shadow Complex, Shank 1 and 2, Silent Hill HD, or HD Collection, which I should say. Silent Hill Downpour, Singularity, and I've got all the Sonic games here as well. I have Soul Calibur HD, Soul Calibur 2 HD, Soul Calibur 4. Fantastic games, really are. You know, anything after this is just shit. I don't like it. South Park, The Stick of Truth. This is the American version, so it's uncensored. So I think there's the abortion minigame and the anal probe with Randy as well, so that's really cool. Split Second, Star Wars The Force Unleashed. This is the Ultimate Sith Edition, so it comes with all the DLC, whereas in this one it's just a standard edition, but it does come with all DLC as well. Stranglehold, Street Fighter 3 Online Edition, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, Syndicate, the TMNT 1989 arcade game. This is the Turtles in Time Reshelled. This is Mutants in Manhattan. Tenchu Z, which this game is so good, honestly guys, I love this game, I love going back to this game. The Bourne Conspiracy, the Chronicles of Riddick as well. This one is so good guys, I love this game. Oh, these three games here are, oh, they're so good, especially these two. These two are made by the same developer, which is Starbreeze Studios, and honestly guys, I mean, see if you played this game you would, oh, it's so good. And Vin Diesel does such a great job with this game. The Dishwasher and Dishwasher Vampire Smile, these are two Xbox Live Arcade games that I had back in the day as well, and I really do enjoy these games. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Game of the Year Edition, so this comes with all DLC as well. The First Templar, The Godfather 1 and 2, Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2, Lord of the Rings Conquest, War in the North. I have the orange box, and yes, you've probably seen that I do have Portal 1 and Portal 2. Portal is already on this one, as well as Team Fortress and Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Half-Life 2 Episode 2, but it just makes it a lot quicker to just load it from the dashboard. The Outfit, the Simpsons arcade game, The Witcher 2, Time Shift. I've got the three Tom Clancy games for Ghost Recon. The two Transformer games, Two Rolls 2, which this is the Game of the Year edition as well. Ultimate Marvel v Capcom 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Vampire Reign. Yes, don't judge me. This is one game that I've been meaning to finish. Warhammer 40k Space Marine. Warriors Legend of Troy, Watchmen The End Is Nigh Part 1, Watchmen The End Is Nigh Part 2, Wolfenstein 3D, WWE 2K13. This is the only WWE game that I'm actually interested in, unless I go back to maybe the ones on PS2 or Xbox or GameCube. I don't really like any other wrestling game, plus this one does have the Attitude Era with all the DLC as well. So get obviously like Gangrel, Val Venus, Rikishi, you know, ones like that. X-Men, the arcade game, and finally, Zone of the Enders Hasty Collection. Wow. So yeah guys, it's a lot of games on here. I was actually hoping to put a lot more on here, but the thing is, there's not really many games I want to put on this thing. And I've spent like the past, like say, 3 weeks getting all these games compiled, so I want to actually sit down and play these games and enjoy them, you know. My wife says to me, why, if you've got a big collection in there, physical games, why do you want this? I says, well, one, it's future proofing, so it means that this console, if maybe in a month's time, maybe 2 months' time, if I'm not interested in the Xbox 360 and I want to play something else, I can just put this one away. But then at the time when I want to play Xbox 360 games, I can just dig this one out, and it's available. All the games are right there. I don't have to do any disc swapping. I don't have to get up off my arse to turn the console on and off, whatever else, and change the discs. It just makes it so much easier. She did actually see my point with that, you know, future proofing. Obviously, I've got a modded PS3 with all the games on it I want. A modded Xbox, a modded GameCube, a modded PS2. Obviously now I've got a modded 360. I've got a modded PS Vita. I've got a modded PSP. I've got a modded DSi XL. A modded new 3DS XL. A modded GBA SP. I've got 2 modded PS Vitas. I've got a modded Wii U as well, so whenever I get in those notions to play these games, I can easily set them up. All the games are right there for me to play, rather than having to, you know, buy the games or buy the consoles of games. So she did see my point. So she'd rather have a couple of consoles lying, you know, in boxes or whatever else, rather than having hundreds upon hundreds of games sitting there. You know, because obviously when I first started going with my wife, I had quite a stellar collection of obviously PS2, GameCube, Xbox games. And then when we kind of moved in together, we moved into a smaller house. Obviously, my mum's house at the time was bigger, so I had less space. And it wasn't fair on me and on her having not a lot of stuff, and me having lots of stuff and taking up all the room. So it was not fair. So it does make sense when you think about it. So if that's something you guys want to do in the future, you want to get yourself like a modded console. For obviously the same purposes as myself, for future proofing, for if you want to play like Zone of the Enders on Xbox, or you want to play WWE 2K13, or you want to play Mortal Kombat or whatever else on your Xbox, and you have them obviously backed up, then yeah, it's as easy as that. So anyway guys, yeah, this has been a long video and we're on 33 minutes, holy shit. So yes, I'm going to play some games now. I'm going to enjoy this bad boy for the next couple of weeks or next couple of months. Whenever I get bored of it and I want to put it away, play something else, and I'll definitely go back to it, because I do love Xbox 360, I really do. Anyway guys, that's it for the end of this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, smash the like button, throw me a devil horns. Also subscribe to my channel for more epic Xbox stuff like this. And oh, by the way guys, I have installed a lot of games. The one thing that the Xbox 360 was great for was playing music. So you can play music through any game of your choice. What it does is, the music, basically any music that's in game, your music replaces it, right? So you probably remember this anyway. So for you guys that don't know this, the music gets replaced by obviously the music of your choice, but the sound effects that are still there. Whereas in modern consoles, obviously your newer consoles and PCs and whatever else, if you're going to like stream music from like say Spotify or obviously one of those sort of streaming sites, then it completely mutes everything and you just get to listen to the music. So a lot of people do like that, a lot of people don't. Me personally, I'd love to like say play, I don't know, Burnout Revenge, for instance, or Blur. Play one of those games with the music on, but I love to hear the sound effects. The sound effects are obviously the engine's revving, the tyres skidding on the road, obviously crashing into someone or causing someone to crash or whatever else. That's what I do love. So it took me, I've got 173 tracks on here. I actually got some CDRs and ripped a whole bunch of tracks. Now the thing is, when you're ripping a track from a blank CD, it just comes up as track 1. So it depends on how many tracks you put on. I think I could put on like, on each CD was about 14 tracks each, so everyone would be like about 10 tracks to say track 1, 10 tracks to say track 2, and so on and so on. So I managed to get myself one of these. So it's one of these chat pads. So that's so much quicker for renaming the songs. So what I'll do is I will just turn the volume down this, but I don't want to get copyrighted in this video, so I'll turn this down. But obviously I can just load this one up, okay? And there we go, I've got Engo to the end. Obviously I'm not going to play it. It's playing right now, but the volume's turned way down, so I don't obviously want to get copyrighted for this video. But yeah, it's so much easier just to kind of load this one up. You obviously play games, whatever else. It's so cool. It's something my brother loved to do. He's more of a music guy than anything, and he loved to, what do you call it? He loved to just chill out and play whatever game and just get stoned, and you know, it's one thing I've never been interested in. But he's obviously been doing that for years. But he would get stoned and just play a game and listen to his full track. But he used to put an iPod Nano into the USB port, and it loads in really quick. If you put a USB into a memory stick into the USB port, it takes, depending on the amount of tracks, it takes quite some time. It could take upwards of 5 minutes to load in your playlist. Whereas then obviously if it's saved to the hard drive, you know, you just do exactly what I just showed you there. You just go into that and press the Y button to play all music. And I think there's 173 tracks on this one, so it loads in pretty much instantly. So you just press that, and once that goes down, it's loaded in. So as you see, Static X, bled for days. Anyway guys, so yeah, that's it for the end of this video. So smash the like button, throw me a double horns. Also subscribe to my channel for more epic Xbox stuff like this, and sayonara.